Welcome to The Royalty, where reality TV strategy meets unfiltered truth. Hosted by a trio of reality TV royalty, Tiffany Mitchell, Derek Big D Frazier, and Hannah Chada. This is The Royalty, exclusively on the Heavy Crown Network.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Heavy Crown Network, the Royalty Podcast. I am one of the hosts here, Derek F., a.k.a. Big D from Big Brother 23, and we are here to recap Traitors Season 4, Episode 6.
Hey guys, I am Hannah, aka Chada, from the 23rd season of Big Brother, as well as the 38th season of The Amazing Race. I keep forgetting to say that on this podcast. Tiff, do you want to go, and then I can introduce our special guest?
Oh, okay. I'm just Tiffany from Big Brother 23, Challenge USA Season 1 and 2. And now the Traitors Season 4, following in the footsteps of the great Queen Sandra, but I'll let Hanta introduce her.
You guys, I feel like we always start off each episode by saying we're so excited, but this week we are truly so excited because it was a special episode. It was very compelling. There's lots to talk about, but who better to talk about episode 6 than the queen herself of reality TV? If you guys are plugged in, then you know this name. She is a household name at this point. Let me actually read her extensive resume. You see, I have to scroll. That's how many shows she's been
And
on.
if you forget one, I'll say it.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can do this. So, Sandra is the winner of Survivor Pearl Islands. She is also the winner of Survivor Heroes versus Villains. That is insane to me that you have won 2 seasons of Survivor. She was on Survivor Game Changers. She was on Survivor Winners at War. She was a mentor on Survivor Island of the Idols. She played on Australian Survivor Blood versus Water with her daughter Nina, who's super lovely, might I add. And she was on The Traitors Season 2, so that was 2 seasons ago. She was on 99 to Beat. And she has what, Big D?
Let her finish, Derek. Go ahead, Hannah.
And Sandra is going to be on season 2 of Extracted with her daughter Nina and her daughter Nina's boyfriend Eric, and it premieres January 26th. So 3 days from now, probably 2 days from when this episode is released. Be sure to watch her there. Sandra Diaz-Twine, welcome to the Royalty Podcast. Your reputation precedes you. So how are you? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing wonderful. We're expecting a horrible storm here in North Carolina, but I'm excited to be here. I watched The Traitors last night, of course, always on time I watch it. And then I rewatched it today because I always say that you always catch things the second time around that you didn't see or hear the first time around. But I'm excited to be here with you guys, and thank you for the invitation.
Sandra, you are our first special guest. Sorry, I just had to say. You're our first special guest of recapping The Traitors. Yes.
Sandra, aren't you a Leo?
I am, July 30th.
Damn.
Leader, not a follower.
Oh.
There's something special about you, Leos.
You guys, because Big D said, wear something black. So I got my pajama underneath, but I actually wore this in the castle. And then this is my little hair thingy here. And I was like, well, let me throw something on.
I love it. I love it.
Honored that you are a Leo, because I am a Leo too. And I see it. I see a lot of me in you.
You go again, sounding like Big D.
When is your birthday? What day?
Oh, I'm a real Leo though. I'm August 5th.
August 5th. I'm a fire Leo.
What's your rising?
Fire signs. Whatever that is, my daughter because my daughter knows all that stuff, and she's like, Mama, you're fire.
Wow. Dang. See, I'm not. I'm Libra, Leo, Gemini. So I'm still crazy.
Wait, Tiffany, is your Libra your moon, or is
my
your
Libra
rising in Libra? Okay,
I'm
a Libra
rising.
moon.
My moon is Gemini. You're a Libra moon?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Very balanced. Very balanced.
Okay.
My rising is Scorpio. Sorry, yeah.
Ooh. I also had another question for you, Sandra. Where are you in North Carolina?
Fayetteville, Fort Bragg.
Oh, everybody froze on me. Oh,
Fayetteville, Fort Bragg.
No, it's okay.
Am I still
Sandra, you said you're from Fayetteville?
I can hear you, tough.
Oh, okay.
Is
Oh,
that
how
close
far is
to
that from
Wilmington?
Raleigh?
No, Wilmington is like an hour and a half away. Raleigh's another hour and a half away, and Charlotte is 3 hours.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I'm
so
on
you're
the
kind of
East
in the
Coast.
middle of
Like
everything.
I'm off of I-95. So if you're coming from New York, whatever, heading down to Miami, I'm right next to I-95. So I'm on the East Coast of the state,
Oh, okay.
where
Okay.
Charlotte is
Mm.
over here,
Yeah.
and Raleigh
Okay.
is
Gotcha.
over here. So,
Yeah.
and
Now,
I wish
Wilmington
I
is
did.
that way.
oh,
I
okay.
just
Gotcha.
I just went to Charlotte, North Carolina recently, so I wish
Yeah,
I
it's
knew
3
that.
hours
Yeah,
from here.
and you're getting the same storm that we're getting,
We're
right?
getting the
Yeah.
same storm, and I
We
was
already
supposed
got it.
to,
Oh,
as
Tiff already you got it and
came
you
from
made it home?
Well, it was here a couple days ago. It passed through here and now it's making its way east.
How many
It's
inches
coming
did you
from
get?
Canada. I sent you that snow we got. Shoot, we got a lot, but it's not snowing right now.
Also, the
Mm.
Midwest is like especially equipped to handle snow, whereas DC, we don't know what to do over here. The grocery stores are in shambles. Nothing is
Same.
left. It's a mess.
It's a
But
mess.
okay, I have a question, Sandra, because you played The Traitors season 2, and although it was the second season of the show, it was kind of the first season with this modern format, meaning it was all celebrities. You didn't have the half and half format anymore. So how do you feel like the show has evolved since season 2?
well, the changes for me, I feel like, for one, in the turret, no gamers in there. I like it and I hate it. I hate that it's 2 housewives, and I always want a gamer in there, but I think everyone's gotten hip to the fact that they always put a gamer in there. So moving forward, now we can say, if we ever go back, Tiffany, or if you guys join us in the game, we can always say there hasn't always been a gamer in the turret. I think people are complaining more about the challenges too, about getting shields and whatnot. Uh, but it's evolved in ways of finding more strategic ways to try to outmaneuver the traitors and try to figure out who they are. This bunch hasn't done a great job, but we're still rooting for them. There's hope.
I have a question for you.
Is there
Is
hope?
there?
Sandra,
No, we'll
would
see.
you
There's still, and of
would-
course, the wardrobe has really changed, because everyone
Oh,
now, like, the
Phaedra.
wardrobe season after season gets more glamorous. I just went to Marshalls and Ross and TJ Maxx, and now you got fur and suits, and Lord have mercy. I don't know that I have a budget for an all-star season.
Oh God. Okay. I said to Derek, I told him, I said, you know what? We're gonna be negotiating a contract, because you're gonna have to pay for some clothes. You just paid for me. You didn't pay for these clothes. Sandra, so having played Traitors and all of the other shows you have done, which game would you say is the toughest to play, and was Traitors more challenging to play than you expected?
The toughest would be Australian Survivor,
Okay.
because when it comes to their challenges, there's not like American Survivor has a lot of puzzles, so you can get away, and segments where one group does this and then you move on to the puzzle, and you really don't have to do a lot. But on Australian Survivor, it was physical the whole time.
Oh,
And
wow.
then when it comes to the Traitors, I wasn't expecting 16-hour work days. That was a lot. I don't even know how the Traitors did it, but we
I
were
don't
a
think
lot
we
of
worked that
times.
long.
A lot of times we had 16-hour work days.
Well, they got
Um,
it together. They got it together by
I think
season
it gets
4.
easier for
Sorry.
them season after season
Yeah.
after season. Like, it
Yeah.
gets less complicated, and they know a little bit more what they're doing or how to speed it along.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Okay.
it was challenging only in the sense when you're just a handful of gamers, and then you got everyone else, and then you're throwing out strategy, and in their brain they just want to catch the traitor, but there's more to than just catching a traitor. There's also, surviving a banishment and surviving a murder. And the fans are like that too. It's always like, oh, you're supposed to find a traitor. Week after week they want you to find a traitor and do nothing else. But sometimes you got to play the game a different way, and self-preservation is number one.
Yeah.
Okay, I really, you're the perfect person to talk to about this, because you are the queen of strategy and sociability, and that is where you shine. So a game like The Traitors, much like it's perfect for Tiffany, it's also perfect for someone like you. And we saw it in season 2, how you kind of pioneered the angel strategy that some faithfuls use, where they purposefully get close to who they think the traitors are in hopes that the traitors will protect them from murder at night. So can you talk to me, or us, I guess, about how you came up with that strategy? And I have a follow-up question, but first, can you answer that question?
When Phaedra's name started going around, I didn't think it was Phaedra. I had blinders on, just like I didn't think it was Parvati, because I walked in there saying, I'm the 2-time winner. If anybody's going to be a traitor here, it's going to be me. And when I had my bubble burst, I was like, there's no way it's her, like, nah. But anyway, I was like, oh my God, if it's Phaedra, this is awesome because, she's protecting me. And not only that, I thought that CT was protecting Trishelle, because I told Trishelle one time, how is it that you go into every single round table and you're just wild? Like, you don't even care. You say what's on your mind and there's no repercussions. Someone's got to be looking out for you. And so that's when in her brain, she started thinking CT must be protecting me as well. So I was like, traitor angel, like CT must be your traitor angel. And here I am. I didn't tell anybody I had Phaedra, but I knew Phaedra was protecting Sheree and Phaedra was protecting me. That's how I felt about it. And that's where Traitor Angel came to me. But I've heard from other people, like on season 3, that they said Traitor Angel all the time. But the production doesn't want you to play the game like that. They don't want that to be out there. So I'm sure it's out there lingering, but just they're not going to show it or don't want to show it. But that's a strategy.
Yeah.
It is a strategy that a lot of faithfuls, I think, use. And Tiffany, you've even kind of talked about on this season how you thought Michael was a traitor, and so you wanted to keep Michael close.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, Derek, are you ready? Derek's over there about to pee his pants. Hannah has one more question, and then Derek, we can get
one
into
more
this
question.
episode.
I'm
We're just
sorry.
excited that we have Sandra. We
Yes,
don't get her all the
of
time,
course.
so like let us fangirl for just like a second. And this is my first time being able to be here, like with her, because
Of
last time I
course.
wasn't here.
I know. It's okay. Listen, you're fine. Listen, you're good.
Okay, so my second question is, you, Sandra, a couple minutes ago touched on how, yes, the name of the game for the faithfuls is to catch the traitors, but there's so much more to the game than that. I've seen a couple like videos on TikTok and Instagram floating around where fans of the show have essentially said, there's really no point to banishing the traitors early because the traitors are just going to recruit another person. And so if you're a faithful and you're banishing faithfuls, not only will those faithfuls can't regenerate, like traitors can regenerate. So there's that. But also that's one less person at the end that you may potentially have to split the prize pot with. So kind of what are your thoughts on that? And do you feel like the show is maybe due for a switch up in the format? Like maybe if you banish a traitor, you add X amount of dollars to the prize pot. Or if you banish 3 faithfuls in a row, then you get money taken away. Something like that, just to keep the incentive of the game to banish the traitors, the incentive of the game.
They could look at that. I've also thought that if you stop like if you stop a faithful from getting a shield, like putting the traitors more in jeopardy, that they could get additional monies. Like if there was money set aside, like if as a traitor you stop the faithfuls from earning so much money in the prize pot, then this money is set aside for you if and when you win the game, to spin it around like that. As far as the faithfuls is concerned, what was your first question? Lord have mercy.
No, I know my questions are super long.
No, you know why I say, because when Tiffany was talking, I was thinking of Colton in this last episode where he tells Lisa, like, I'll look out for you out here if you look out for me in the turret, because he's thinking like, I know it's you, but I'm going to take a stab at it. But she didn't give in to his, whatever he said, but it works. It's something as simple as trying to figure out who it is so that you can make it to the end and then get rid of them then, especially if everyone is blind to it. But Hannah, what was that first question you asked me about what the fans were saying online?
Sure. Long story short, if I'm a faithful early in the game, why wouldn't I try to banish other faithfuls? Because it's not like faithfuls can regenerate in the same way that if I were to get out Lisa, they would just replace Lisa with another person as a traitor. And then also, if I keep getting rid of faithfuls, that's less people that I have to split the money with at the end. So I guess, what do you think about that? And do you feel like the show should do something to kind of switch up their format?
Tiffany, if I'm not mistaken, only 4 people can get to the end, right? The max, when you go outside and throw the little bags of color into the fire, right? So at the end of the day, I think the max faithfuls that can even win is 4. But because we had Dolores, King Ivar, Gabby, and Efron, those 4.
Dylan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
So
think it
when
is
you
4.
think about it, faithfuls do have to fall. You just don't want it to be you. So it's okay with being like Ron, for instance. As a fan watching from my living room, I'm not in the castle. I feel bad for him. My heart is broken because he didn't get a shot simply because he spoke up when he heard what Portia had to say, which she said it. So he took a hit for that. No one wanted him around, right? But then at the end of the day, you still have to realize that there were 23 people going into this game. 3 or 4 of them max are traitors. The rest are all faithful, which leave 19 people, and only 4 can make it to the end, whether they're traitors or faithful. So you have to be okay with faithfuls going home, you know? So talking back about Ron, I would definitely I hated that Ron went home when he did because I wasn't playing the game. But if I was in that castle week after week, I'd be like, Ron, 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 because it was easy. And as long as it's Ron, it's not me, as long as my name isn't surfacing. But I don't think there has to be an initiative from the actual Traitors production to change anything up, because we're going to get rid of faithfuls regardless. We're outnumbered. I mean, the Traitors are hiding in plain sight. There ain't but 2 or 3 of them. So they have an upper hand where we have to try to figure out every single time someone does something, whether it be sneeze or drink water, if they're a traitor. You know, that's how crazy the castle is.
Okay, last question. I'm so sorry, Derek. Don't try to kill me. Sandra, what did you think of The Secret Traitor?
I love The Secret Traitor. I'm watching Traitors UK, and The Secret Traitor lasted longer there. I think... What happened, Derek?
He don't want you to spoil it for him. He
I'm
probably
watching
watching it
UK
right now.
now.
In the
Mhm.
right
Okay,
hands, The Secret Traitor could have worked.
Okay.
In the right
Okay.
hands.
I feel
Because
that.
according to what I saw and read, they had so many different things that were going to happen episode after episode that the Secret Traitor would have taken part in. And once the Secret Traitor was gone, it's not going to happen anymore. Imagine if they give the Secret Traitor to someone that really knows how to work the system and really knows how to play the
Like
game.
Rob C. If Rob
Well,
C
he
would have
might
been a
have been an
secret traitor.
obvious choice, but no one would have known he was a secret traitor.
I was gonna say,
Absolutely.
we didn't even know that was a thing. Like I wasn't even thinking about
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay. All right, Derek. It's gonna kick it off. Episode 6.
Episode 6. We start off with Mara, Kristen, and Rom. They come in first, and I just want to ask Sandra a quick question, since everybody's asking questions. Did you have salmon also at breakfast? Were people fighting over salmon at your...
Yes. So on season 2, they'd give us like 6 or 7 boiled eggs. Everybody wanted a damn boiled egg. There was never enough salmon. There was never enough Gouda cheese. And then we also, and I've said this before, it would be like waffles or pancakes with no syrup, coffee with maybe creamer, maybe sugar, but never all 3. So it was like, and I was constantly like, yo, who's running that off? You know, like the kitchen, like make a list. Like, if you give me peanut butter, you got to give me jelly. You know, that's how it is. If you give me toast, give me jelly, give me butter. Like, so I'm glad that by season 4, they got it together and we never had enough eggs. And my issue was that I was constantly last to breakfast. I was always scared. I was like, these fucking traitors are talking about me. That's why I'm coming in at the end. So I was always on pins and needles. And then I was always eating fast and there was almost never anything left.
Yeah.
If you come in last, they're talking about you.
Yes, that's something that we talked about last week. The people who, like, let's just say there are 3 or 4 people left at the very end, wouldn't you know that they're probably not traitors? Just because, like, for the audience, those are the 3 or 4 people.
No, they've mixed
that
they've mixed them in. They've mixed them in. They've mixed them in different orders because I've gone back to look at in what order they were in, and that's not gonna work. But usually it's always the people that they're in the turret talking about that mosey on in at the end that you're not sure who they killed that night.
Okay.
Okay. Johnny comes up with a plan that, if we can find, he thinks that we could find
8
8
people.
people that are,
Faithful.
truly faithful, that we could run the table, yeah, they're going to be the faithful of the faithful. Okay.
So you did say that no one was murdered last night, right?
I'm about to say it right now.
Oh.
Yeah, no one was murdered last night. We were talking about no one was murdered. Alan does let them know in the turret that, everyone played. Did he take a shield? So they're like, ugh, at this point. Lisa.
What do you think
Yes.
about that? Like these people like not taking
I was
shields.
shocked because that's the first thing that Natalie said when she was talking to Dorinda. Like, don't we want to take a shield? Like, Johnny was in that group. Michael was in that group. There wasn't a traitor in there. I would have taken a shield. I don't know.
I think they were just.
I don't know about not taking shields. I don't know if I don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, don't
Shit.
tell me. Listen,
I don't know. There's kind of a lot of groupthink happening on this season.
I hate it because you're making it easier for traitors. So you want everybody to be vulnerable. Like, why are we making it easier for someone to die? If you fine with dying, die.
Yeah. And see, when Natalie said that about
part.
if you take a shield, no. In the next challenge, when they found out that they couldn't murder anyone, it was from the previous challenge. Okay, so that one is where no one took a shield, which I assumed they had. I assumed 4 people had taken it.
Yeah, they didn't.
Yeah,
Nobody took it. I mean, these people are confident. These people feel good.
Yeah.
I don't know how they slept that night, but I guess they knew if nobody took it, nobody gets murdered. But there's another little thing about shields coming up in this episode. All right.
Right. I want to point out, I love Lisa going, she want to slit Colton's throat. Slit. The key word on the word slit. Like, I was like, all right, we feel it. Colton is at the breakfast table. He turns over to Dorinda. He lets Dorinda know, hey, we really need to pay attention to Lisa. Like, Lisa is like, I need you to see what I'm seeing. Like, this is someone you say I need you to pay attention.
This is interesting to me because this is not the first time Dorinda heard this. I said something to Dorinda the day that I got banished, right before we went to the table, and I asked her about it actually this weekend. But anyway, I asked her, I said, Dorinda, you don't think that Lisa could be a traitor? And she's like, no, why? I said, because she tried to throw you under the bus. Like, it was, I had asked her that, and I'm really surprised that she doesn't act shocked when Colton says this, and I'm wondering what she has been thinking, but I don't expect her to confide in Colton whether she believes Lisa is a traitor or not. She's probably like you were thinking, Sandra, like if she
Traitor
is,
angel.
I ain't dying. Yeah.
Traitor
she might have
angel
killed
because
Caroline, but she ain't gonna kill me.
Exactly. 2 housewives are already gone. It ain't Dorinda. She knows it. Hey, it ain't me. So if there is a housewife in that turret, which is a possibility, it's one of those 2. So guess what?
Yeah, I'm good.
Exactly. But I do have a question. Because why do you think Tiffany, you said that you went to Dorinda. Why go to Dorinda, who is Lisa's closest ally? And why do we think Colton went to her versus going to someone else?
Because in the castle, I actually felt really close to Dorinda, and I felt close to Lisa too, but I also noticed that Lisa wasn't doing a lot of talking. So although I know that Lisa and Dorinda are both housewives, I didn't feel that they were like sharing information. So I felt like I could say this to Dorinda, hopefully, and I felt like it's a possibility she won't report this back to Lisa. I don't know. I just had that feeling.
Gotcha.
Okay. Colton is, he's kind of in this green screen moment. So before I even start, Sandra, I love asking you some questions. I saw you've been a little bit hype in that BBC chat. What's your thoughts on Colton, Sandra?
He got under my skin the minute Tiffany was throwing out strategy, and then he was saying that she was hold on, because I had the words. I know what he said about you.
She loves power. She's controlling.
He said,
get them notes. Get them notes. Come on, diagraphs and grams.
That she was half-ass, fake-ass eulogy. Everything she does is insincere, and he wants to cut the head off the snake.
He did say that.
And I went and wrote while he was still on chat BCC, like, I wouldn't even tell you anything, because the minute anyone brings any type of strategy that makes sense, automatically they're a traitor. And then he wrote back, well, thank God we didn't play on the same season, and I left it alone.
Yeah.
But he irritates me, and it irritates me that, Michael went home given. I would have voted for him too. But here's the thing. I don't think he disrespected Colton in any way, because that morning, the minute Michael gets to breakfast, Colton starts saying, what did Colton say to him? Like, what were they doing? How was Alan dressed, and his footsteps around at the challenge? At the
antagonizing. You're antagonizing him. So if you're going to antagonize me, we can play that antagonizing game.
So
come on, notes. Take your time. Come on, pull them out.
Yeah, because I was.
She's flipping pages.
Down.
Pages.
I hear pages.
No.
Sandra,
that's why Michael was calling him a rabble rouser, And hold on. He was telling him, Colton, everyone that voted Michael out that night was gone except for Jam Jam. And Colton asked Michael, does Alan stay in his outfit when he comes to the turret? And Colton said, I'm going to keep pressing people and see how uncomfortable they get. If I miss a shot, I'll shoot again. And, so he likes
to play aggressively.
Yeah,
he said that.
He could do and say whatever, but can't nobody say nothing back to him.
We call that you can dish it, but you can't take it.
Mm-hmm. It's very annoying to watch. Very, very annoying.
100%.
At first, during the first couple episodes, I was like, okay, maybe he's just an overconfident faithful, where he's really simplified these games and how these games work, because he obviously doesn't come from a competitive reality TV background. But at this point, it's superseded overconfidence, and he is just flat out cocky. He's unapologetic, and he's not humble. Like, the best gamers are humble because they can admit that they don't know everything, and they recalibrate and they adjust and they adapt as you go. That is what delineates a winner and separates a winner from the rest of us losers, because we haven't yet mastered that yet. But he's so tunnel vision, he just has these blinders. He has no regard for anyone else and how anyone else is connected. And it's really frustrating for me to watch, as someone who obviously loves Tiffany, but also as someone who has such deep respect for these games. That's my piece about
the issue with the cockiness too, and the overconfidence, is that you can go the going from the extreme end of the spectrum of cockiness, arrogance, confidence to victim. I'm wronged. How dare? This is unfair. Like, stand on your shit. If I slap the fuck out of you and you slap me back, I can't believe you slapped me. How you gonna slap? Bitch, you slapped me first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He's a professional victim.
And after he said that to Lisa about the turret, like, protect me in the turret, he said, I'm going to continue to play this game recklessly and bold. Okay. So you can you can dish it, so you're going to have to take it. I'm ready for him to go, to be honest with you. But I was ready from the jump. I wasn't one of those people where I was mad at Michael for what he said at the round table. I was just like, I was over him.
Yeah, we talked about this, and I agree. I definitely agree with you. Like, it wasn't how you can't take it that way. Like, he wasn't being like, oh, you're on my phone.
Yeah. No.
I think everybody just jumped on the bandwagon because they're like, I got to get out Michael and I can't stand him. He gets on my nerves, which I understand that. I can see if he's somebody he's known for doing that. He's a troll.
Yeah,
He lets you know.
but he's the kind of person where he's gonna tell you to your face what he's feeling, who he believes is a traitor, who's he connecting with. Like, he's not sitting around there lying and making up stuff like Ron. Like, they're just gonna tell you Ron has a quieter voice, but he
out mode.
And with Michael, if I was in that castle, he would be my friend. So would Ron, because I know when I go to them, I'm like, where you at? What you feeling? Tell me exactly what's going on. And you can, that's it.
I love Sandra. Write the book so I can read it. Thank you. Okay.
I wouldn't know what to talk about.
No,
sorry.
Hannah.
No. Last thing about Colton is and we'll get into how he kind of approaches Lisa with a deal, quote unquote. Like, he's so convinced that it's Lisa. He happens to be right in this instance, but he's still like kind of willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, except when it came to Tiffany. You woke up one morning, you had your sights set on her. You didn't give her any sort of benefit of the doubt. You didn't give her any time to prepare. You didn't give her a way out. You took it, you ran with it, you threw her under the bus, and then she was banished because of you. So I don't like how...
I was the snake. I was a snake who wasn't begging for a rose.
And nobody wanted those roses. He was looking for something else. He was looking for more sticks and wood, not roses.
That was good.
Go ahead.
That was good.
So he was looking for a thorn.
Yeah,
that was good.
Not a bud.
Colton has a gut feeling that he thinks it's Lisa, and then of course, Tiffany's name can't get out of these episodes. Tiffany's name is brought up again because he's like, he remembers how he messed up with Tiffany. Now, Steven, do you guys know who Steven is?
Coletti.
Steven,
he seems so sweet.
Is asked, he is having a conversation with people in the kitchen, and he's like, hey, are we going to go after Ron? Okay. So now going into these conversations, it seems like, Ron is on the table, but Rob R., Hannah's favorite, is not thinking this. He does not want to get rid of Ron. He doesn't want to get rid of Colton.
But this makes sense to me. If I'm Rob R., I'm a traitor. My name's not coming up. I don't want my name to come up. And these are two people who are suspicious to everyone else. And I know that they won't write my name down. No, I don't want them to go anywhere.
Exactly. Like, the traitors can't just work with traitors. The traitors have to work with faithfuls here too.
The fact that Ron and see, this one's hard for me because the fact that Ron ended up going home anyway, I feel like he didn't have to put Lisa's name down, and I'm talking about Rob. But he was in that room when they called on him to be one of the 8 to go after Colton.
And that's what I was gonna get to now. So it looks like the 8 that Johnny has built is Mark, Kristen, Tyra. I always say her name wrong. Tara, Johnny,
Maura. I'm always messing her up.
Thank you, Steven, Candace, Eric, and Rob R. So there's 2 traitors in here in this group, and the only person they're keeping out is Lisa. And they're looking at Colton and Ron to be, at the table tonight. Now, Colton does tell Natalie, about
Wait, real quick. This group wants to vote out Colton, but they acknowledge that Ron is the name that's been floated out from the jump. And so if we don't feel like we can get the votes, then we're just going to pivot to Ron. But they weren't wanting to get rid of both of them.
And I can kind of, having been with them, I can kind of understand why they want to go Ron, because it's almost like this man is a human cat because he has 9 lives and he just won't die. Like, I don't know how he continues to come off the table when in the morning he is on the table. By the dinner time, he is off the table. And it's almost like I can understand them being like, now he can't just keep skating by. Because he is an introvert. So he's building relationships with specific people that he just feels close to. He did feel very isolated after the Portia vote. He was not very open and social prior to. And so I think that a lot of people felt he wasn't that trustworthy after the vote. So establishing a connection with him didn't really feel like it was necessary because you also expect him to be gone tonight. And so it's like, but then he keeps coming back. And I understand like why it's easy to vote for him because majority of them don't really have the connection with him that Rob R has, or I don't know who else has a connection with him, but Rob R.
No,
Yeah, but even
nobody
if you
else.
have that connection, you could easily say at the round table, because of the evidence put forth here today and because of the majority, I'm going to have to vote with them. Although I love you, Tiffany. I love you, Hannah.
Yeah.
I love you, Big D. Listen, it sounds like everyone's putting your name down. I'm going to join. It's easy to say that. That could have easily been done. Colton could have gone home. Then they could have went back and said, well, maybe it is Ron. But I felt like it was just way too early to throw out
And
Lisa's
Ron is
name.
always on the table. That was
Yeah.
We'll definitely get into it, and I see where both of you guys are coming from. With Ron, though, I think he said it in this episode, and us three, we talked about it on last week's podcast. He mastered the art of keeping quiet and letting someone else embarrass themselves more, talk more, do something dumb enough to let them get banished, or just kind of let the snowball take effect, leading to someone else's banishment. So I think that's how he's been able to evade being banished for so long.
And Colton, since he knows it all, he has a conversation with Natalie, and shout out to Natalie and her Black Panther outfit. He was definitely like, we are getting Lisa, and he does bring some actual facts. He's like, think about that first vote. Natalie feels the same way, but I think Natalie's kind of like, I gotta keep this in the back of my head, but we are talking to Colton. Now, Lisa walks in the room and Colton goes, oh, look at the housewives sticking together. How convenient. I'm glad you don't have your glasses on today. You know what? I gotta give it to Colton.
Antagonizing.
Yes.
So when someone comes right back at you, take that shit. Handle it. Take it.
Absolutely.
Take it.
Absolutely.
Swallow it like you want her to.
I think it's funny that Michael left and then Colton's like turned up the dial. Like if he's Michael, because that's
why he wanted Michael gone.
Yeah,
because he couldn't do that with Michael in the house. That's why he wanted all the people who wouldn't let him get away with that shit.
Okay, I just love Lisa going, oh, what do you want to see? He's like, my future. What is my future? I feel like there was more to that conversation and they cut the conversation.
For sure.
Like 100%. After they're in the car, now Colton is making it clear to Rob R, Dorinda, I forgot who's else in the car. If he's killed, it's Lisa. So he's now
I think it might have been Tara.
Yes.
Wasn't it like Tara, Dorinda, Rob R?
Yes.
And Colton.
And him asking Rob, though,
Yeah.
Rob, because that's his. At first, I was like, dang, he just called Rob right out, but I have to remember that they have this bond. And he's like, Rob, what do you think? I'm going to put this word, this is going to become my word. It's plausible.
That's crazy.
But I was, Rob R is, dare I say, well read?
Yeah, he's not so dummy from Alabama.
What you think about Rob R?
No, he's sharp. He's really sharp.
And he was slick the way he just simply said that and didn't say nothing else, but it was enough for they don't suspect him for 1 minute.
1 second. 1 minute.
Now, hypothetically, if I were ever to get a chance to play this game, one can dream. But from the second I step foot into Scotland, I am quiet as a mouse because I wouldn't want to give them this baseline that they can use to measure or to compare my behavior after Alan picks the traitors compared to before Alan picked the traitors, if you know what I'm saying. But if my baseline
That's exactly what Rob R did. I rode in the car with him. As soon as I got in the car, he was sitting in the middle. He said nothing. I thought he was I didn't think he was an ass, but I was just like, He's not interested in being here. He ain't interested in getting to know us. He don't really care.
And you heard who his
I
best
thought
friend
they found
is,
the
right?
side of the road in Scotland and was like, we need one more person.
You heard his best friend is the one that won the UK Traitors, so I'm sure they spent a lot of time talking, and he probably said,
Oh, I
this
didn't
is
know
what
that.
you need to do. Yeah, the kid from
Oh,
Love
I didn't know
Island that
that.
won the
Yeah,
UK
Aaron.
Traitors.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. The cabin's back, guys. It's a famous cabin. We love the cabin. It's probably one of my
Wait,
favorites.
shout out to Tom Sandoval from last
Making-
season with the
making a cabin.
lullabies. That's still one of my favorite scenes in Traitors history.
Yes.
So funny.
Yes. No, mine's still gonna be. I'm sorry. Mine's still gonna be Sandra's season 2 with Phaedra and y'all. You were in. I think you were in the cabin.
Yeah,
right? You
but
did
the
cabin with the
housewives
bugs?
and
Yeah.
MJ, all of them were screaming.
Yes.
If you were Bravo, you were screaming.
Oh my God, that's my favorite.
If
That
you
was
were
my
a gamer,
favorite
you were in the
episode.
tunnels, digging, moving rats,
Yes.
pushing roaches, moving the worms, like
Look at
everything.
somebody's face. I would have begged.
I'm a
they
housewife.
did- No,
I'm a
okay.
housewife.
You know what? Now I'm even more angry. The fact that y'all got Tiffany out early before any type of dirty, crazy type of challenge. I would have loved to see Tiffany get down and dirty like that. And you guys took
Wait,
that moment away
Tiffany-
from me.
Tiffany did the challenge season 1 and 2. I feel like you would have done
But
it.
I would have loved to see Tiffany dealing with bugs.
Tiffany, how would you have done during this challenge?
I don't know, because even when I think about going on the challenge, I'm like, it's a heist challenge. I'll be all right. Then as soon as they tell me to get up there, I'm crying. I'm ready to go home. Just kick me up out of here. I don't know how I got to leave, but I fake insanity if I got to. I don't know. I think that I would be like, I don't care about those bugs, but baby, you should see me with a spider. I be scratching. I'm like Johnny. I might break out in hives.
No, you would have been fine because two
He did
people
say
get
that.
to run out of the cabin,
I would've been running out.
going to the tombs. So you would have probably been in the first or second relay. Like you wouldn't be there for the bugs.
I would have been with Candace. You ready, girl? Because if it's gonna be 2, it's gonna be 3. Because I'm not gonna wait on the second round.
I will say they all do. Let me tell you something. We get back to the shield conversation, okay? So there's going to be 6 rounds. I'm not going to go that deep into it. But there's
Yeah.
6 rounds that, they got to figure out the clues and then figure out the names of the clues that are happening in the house. There's going to be 6 different things that are going to happen. But before we even start, they got to figure out, because, once again, they get another offer. If no one takes a shield, then I think no one would get banished, right? Is that what it is? Or did I miss that part?
No, it wasn't. It was not anything like that. They just made up their
Oh, they just made a
mind.
shield that we can make money. No one take a shield.
Yeah.
Which
no
in
one
that
makes-
moment, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'd be like, I'm taking a fucking shield.
Well, and then Natalie being
Yes.
very boldly, if you take a shield, we're banishing you. That's a lot
I ain't
of
mad at that.
pressure.
Yeah, that's
mad
exactly.
at
Because I
that.
have my phone in my notes. That's exactly what she said. She said,
She
if
went
you
from
take a
papers to the
shield,
phone.
you're banished tonight, and nobody took a shield, so they get free reign tonight. That's exactly what Alan told them.
What do you think about that as a like? What do you think about that, Sandra?
It's easy for her to say if she's constantly walking into breakfast early, but don't tell me if I'm coming into breakfast late every time. You don't give me permission to take a shield.
Yeah, you don't.
I'm taking a shield
You
because
don't. You
I'm
don't give me
scared, and I'm
permission to do
constantly
anything.
getting in there at the end
Yeah.
and getting no boiled eggs and no salmon.
Salmon.
When you start, you're not
Baby,
being talked about. You're good. You're fine. But no.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you're strong and they need you to help
Imagine
them
not
get out
getting
here
the
and win this
shields,
money. You ain't going
having the
nowhere.
opportunity, and then you go home saying, "Fuck, why did I allow her to
Right.
dictate my
Right.
safety in this game?"
Listen,
Yes.
Mm.
I
Especially
agree.
when you could have.
Yeah. Oh, Natalie's a very bold. Once again, Hannah talked about this. If Hannah was a traitor, she would be worried about Natalie. Like, Natalie would have to go because of the fact
Yeah.
that Natalie is a very big voice, and you could see that even at the tables when she's talking.
But here's the
Like,
thing,
I'm
though.
surprised.
Natalie, when it comes to the challenges, if you're a traitor and there's a chance you can get to the end,
Oh,
you
yeah.
want that pot as big as possible. So guess what? Natalie
Hannah, I
can't go
told you we
nowhere.
me and Tiff
No.
said
She's
this to
stronger
Hannah.
than any man
Okay,
there
here,
for my price pot.
Damn.
yes. No, you're so right. You're so right. However, let's just say Natalie's strength is at a 10, but she does a lot of talking. She has a lot of credibility. There's no way she gets banished because everyone knows she's a faithful. And Steven's strength is maybe at an 8, but he's not saying much. He doesn't have much sway with this group. I would rather keep Steven. We can sacrifice those extra 2 points in strength. And the competitions are becoming a little more mental, as we've seen in the last couple episodes. So Natalie can go. I love watching Natalie as a viewer, but if I were a traitor, she's dangerous to me. Any faithful that has too strong of a voice is dangerous to me.
And Sandra, to me, she's yes. He's not overly vocal, but when he does say something, people consider what he's saying very strongly. They definitely overconsider his thoughts, his words.
Gotcha. Not overconsider.
On our season, we said, don't bring nothing to the round table 2 seconds before and expect us to jump ship after we've talked about all day long what the hell we're going to do at this round table. Damn, but for him to come in there and say, I got great ears, I heard Tiffany's laugh, and everyone jumped on it. If I was a traitor, he gets murdered. Because if he tries to pin a laugh on me 2 episodes later, I'm fucking screwed.
Yeah, this is true.
Magical ears. Listen. Now, I will say, I think Tiffany definitely would have left this. The one thing I know Tiffany would have not even probably sat at the table. The table was the dirtiest table I ever seen. It looked like it came back from the Old Testament. The fact that they were able to write clearly on this table, like they were writing a pen to a clean sheet of paper, is crazy with these answers.
Derek and Chat GPT this little speech. Go ahead, Derek.
So I didn't. I'm just on my P's and Q's after getting a little talk to last night. Okay, so I'm speaking clearly. Okay, now.
Oh God, Sandra, pardon our I don't know, lack of cohesion.
Not lack of cohesion. So I will say the challenge happened. No one took shields. They got their money. They got some money. The only thing they got one answer wrong, which was in the beginning. And that's all that happens. Now we get back to the castle. Rob R is now still having these epiphanies that he does not want it to be Ron or Colton. Like Tiffany was saying, these people are close to me. Why would I want to get rid of them? He's also looking at I get it, like a numbers. Now, Johnny and Mark are trying to figure out what to do.
And Sandra, jump in anytime. I know you got a whole thing of notes.
Oh, no. That was it for my notes, but I watched it 2 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You talking about these notes?
Honey, she said.
Sandra, you are killing me.
So wait a minute.
On page 14,
minute 8. When it's 2 and 3 episodes,
Lisa was
it's
wearing
a lot
this.
of stuff. But
right here.
An hour. There wasn't a lot.
It is.
But yeah, so they're deciding Ron, he's not sure because Rob trusts Ron and Ron trusts Rob, and the same with Colton. So he takes a shot at Lisa, which I was shocked.
It does feel good. I do like to see that. I kind of like a little bit as a viewer, maybe not a gamer, but I like to see like the personal connection building between Rob and Ron, because I do know Ron felt very isolated. Rob is in a very peculiar position because he's a traitor, and I would think as a traitor, I want to play without my emotions. I don't want to get close to anybody because I might have to kill you, or I might have to banish you to save myself. So I empathize with him, but I like to see it happening. It humanizes him that he is building this relationship and he sees Ron for who Ron really is. And that's easy for him to do because he absolutely knows that Ron is not a traitor. So he doesn't have a reason not to trust him or to question him the way the other faithfuls do, the real faithfuls do. But he could easily be like, yeah, I'm a traitor. I don't care. They want him gone. We cool. I'm going to keep him in my pocket. But it doesn't seem like he's approaching it that way. I think he genuinely cares about Ron and his well-being and how he's handling being here with the cards that he's been dealt in this game, or the cards that he played with, because he played those cards.
No, he played those cards at the round table, which Tiffany, you put it in a perfect way. And I'm glad you gave us that.
Before we get to the round table, that's when Colton approaches Lisa. You got to talk about when Colton approaches Lisa.
Oh, that was before that.
Because we talked about it earlier.
So Colton decides that he wants to try to capture himself a traitor. And Colton goes, I'm going
to... He don't want to capture a traitor.
He wants to hold her
hostage.
Hostage.
Let me just say this.
Is there more words to the word hostage?
He said hostage.
Hostage.
He said, I want to hold a traitor hostage. And all I'm thinking to myself is, this man got a lot of Suge Knight in him. He be using some real strong arm tactics to get his goddamn point across. This man comes in full charge. He is like, if I want something, I'm going to get it. You going to have to break me. I mean...
Persistent.
It's a little more than that. Like he said, I'm aggressive. And I don't know if I ever wanted to hold nobody hostage. Those thoughts don't even come in my mind. Because I don't want nothing that don't want to be kept.
This is the reason Lisa should have murdered him.
There's this...
She should have murdered him when it all started.
Yes.
And...
Yeah.
I think they tried to, right? Like as soon as... I think... In the last episode, that was the first time that Colton threw out Lisa's name.
And they didn't have a murder that night.
Exactly. Yep. Because no one took a shield. So
well, her and Candace could have taken off of Ron and put it on Colton and made it look like it happened at a banishment and it was everyone and not the traitors. Like, I would have gotten rid of him before he keeps being in people's ears, turning folks against me. You know, I would have just taken him out. Whatever happens, happens. I'm already in his mouth. He's already telling people about me. What else do I have to lose besides them getting me at the round table? I'll take him out first, and let's see what happens.
I will say the
game
one
with Sandra so badly.
You're so cutthroat. I just want to listen.
I just want to be like your plus two. That's it. I just want to be your sidekick.
Not your plus two.
I just drag me along. Oh, sorry.
Just
one.
say this word with me, Derek. Say this word with me. Protege.
Protege.
Okay.
Yeah, I would love that. I need to be your protege. Teach me.
Oh God. The one thing that Colton did well, dare I say, is he has been telling a lot of people about his suspicions of Lisa, and in doing so, he's making sure it's not. He's making sure that everyone knows he's suspicious of her. Meaning, if he dies, they then have the excuse to come after Lisa. Now, if Lisa wasn't a traitor, someone could easily frame her, but...
Notice he didn't say that about me. Notice he didn't say, I'm going to go after Tiffany and if I die,
But Hannah, that's why Lisa was safer when he only had told one or two people. She had to take that gamble versus him being able in a 16-hour day tell every single person.
Everyone.
Sandra, you gonna make sure you remind us that you had 16-hour days, okay?
Can you imagine the traitors having to also murder and do all kinds of shit 2 more hours later?
She earned her check, honey. She said,
I'm cracking up at the 16-hour days. But he does tell Lisa, he goes, I want to win this thing with you. And I'll protect you at the round table.
We can't win this thing together because if I'm a traitor and you're a faithful, you're assuming I'm a traitor. You're telling me to my face I'm a traitor. Protect you in the turret. When we get to the end, we both ain't winning. We're not winning. The traitor wins. So then that means that for a little while, until you can turn on me, until you have enough people that can get me.
That part. I just love their little interacting too, their little conversation. He goes,
what are you talking about? I'm a faithful. I love Lisa. Oh my gosh, she can't do nothing wrong.
She can't do nothing wrong at all. And he goes, on a Porsche vote. But Lisa goes, and I think that you're really good at it. She thinks that he's a traitor. I love it. Round table, guys. We're at the round table. Finally at the round table. Now, Ron, start talking this.
Listen, Ron was eating people up. His logic was kind of flawless, and he said, "Any questions?" I was so impressed.
I liked Ron at this round table. It was almost like, shit, he had Sandra's notes. He said, wait a minute, Colton.
No, I really, truly did think that he was going to Dan Funeral his way out of this round table. I did, and he was so close to doing so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was.
I just love him going, anyone got anything? We need to use this time. like what? But Hannah's favorite, Mark speaks up, and Hannah, do you want to explain what he says? I don't want to mess up your favorite.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I just got to say, I love Mark Ballas so much, and I'm happy that he got a bit more screen time. And also, thank you so much, Tiffany, for allowing me to FaceTime him this week. I still can't believe it. That legitimately,
Mark, not me.
I'm thanking both of you because that legitimately made my whole week and Simone's whole week. So thank you.
You're welcome.
He knows who you are now.
He definitely knows Hannah Chata.
He definitely knows Hannah Chata. But
he went on Simone's page and saw her dancing, and he was like, she's good. Anyway, go ahead.
I have to tell Simone that. Anyway, Mark speaks up and essentially says, like, based on the evidence that I've heard, Ron, I'm thinking it could be you because of everything that happened with the Portia vote. And Ron also has this tendency to throw out a bunch of names. And once he throws out a name, he gets kind of hyper-focused, hyper-fixated on each one. So, yeah, that's what Mark said. But he was very kind, very respectful in the way that he started the conversation.
And that's Mark. That seems like Mark, like through and through, real life and also in the game. That seems like him. Ron then says, "Hey, he's been in the hot seat. He's been dealing with this every single time. The suspicious, the votes. People are kind of throwing things at Ron now at this point. Okay, but Colton decides, to say,
but wait." But Ron pivots in the round table, and this is something that I have not seen done before, and I appreciated it because when when you're fighting for your life in this game, you don't, you are thinking about, wow, if I get banished, I'm going to miss these people, but there's not often enough time to tell them what you think of them and how you really feel. Often it's them telling you what they think about you, and you don't get your time to share back. But he takes this time to go around the table to tell them, this is what I have thought about you in the time that I've gotten to know you in this game. And while he's doing that, there's a side conversation going on with Tara and Natalie, and
I don't think
they're
it's
like,
him.
you know what? And Rob, I don't think he's a traitor. I don't think it's him. And Tara, I don't think she's spoken up much, but she takes this opportunity to say, hey, wait, excuse me, can I say something here? I don't believe Ron is a traitor. And then she gets second, and the third. And now it's like a little doubt and people are questioning. But I think Dorinda is full force on, if y'all don't write this man's name down, I'm going to take your chalkboard and I'm going to write it myself.
I was going to ask Sandra that question. Like, do you think that Ron really does hate Dorinda and Dorinda does not like Ron?
Well, rumor has it that he went into the castle because he knows Donna Kelsey very well. And I guess Dorinda did ask him about his family, but he doesn't want to mix his family up with the castle and with the game, which is understandable. Like, why do you care about my family? I don't care about yours, so don't ask me about, I think they just somehow got on the wrong foot. And for Ron, there was nothing else to come. Remember, him and Dorinda don't have anything in common, like. I don't know. Once there was
at the round table, like
some sort of animosity or separation there. He never he's from New York, isn't he? A lot of times when you guys don't care for somebody, you just don't care for them no matter what, even when they talk to you. So, I don't even know where the fuck I said that. But anyway, I think he didn't care shit about Dorinda or her family, and he wasn't there to talk about his. So don't be asking me about mine because you really don't give two shits about them. Let's be real, and let's stick to why we're all here.
Two totally different. Yeah. I think they're
And
just
I
totally
said that when
different.
we were in the castle, we didn't sit there talking about people's
So
names. I had to Google people when I got out of the castle, like Phaedra. Like, I didn't know her last name. I'm like, Phaedra from the Housewives. That's what I knew. I didn't sit there and talk about my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, you say one or two things, but it's not. My son's
Of
name is
course.
Timmy. He's 10. He goes to school here. He eats chicken nuggets.
Yeah. Love
Not
it.
chicken nuggets. I'm getting PTSD. Anyway, anyway, so Colton, Colton says, I really do like you, Ron, but banish you tonight will give us more answer. And then Ron goes, well, if that's what you think you should do, then I don't know why you would do it.
Is that what you think you should do? Because you've been wrong more times than me.
That part.
And he goes, how?
Yeah.
I mean, just with what, like Tiffany and who else? What was the other name? Who
He
else?
said, and then Ron
Michael.
goes, no, Portia.
No, he didn't say Michael. And he said Tiffany, and maybe he said Portia.
Yes.
And then Ron says, and Michael. And Colton goes, almost like, nah. And he was like, yes, you were wrong with Michael too, but you don't want to count him because you don't like him, but you love Portia. Portia's love, so you want so I'm penalized for that. But you want to, let's not forget that Michael was also not a traitor.
So what happened to the 8 people that were gonna vote Colton? There wasn't even. It was like 5
Sandra,
and 5.
I'm trying to figure that out too. It was rough. It was rough.
Because don't forget, in the 8 people was Rob, R, and Candace for sure. And Candace, I guess maybe her thing is to stay consistent because she's written Ron's name down at every round table.
Yes.
And I don't think that you have to not be swayed. I think that if there's enough evidence brought to the table, you can decide, like, I think it's you, but this evidence that has been brought before me, I want to present, because she could have gotten out Colton if maybe she would have written Colton's name down.
Yeah.
There's a lot that happens at this table. Kristen, holds Colton accountable because of Tiffany. Then they start turning the table on Colton, and Colton says, I'm playing this game really recklessly and bold. I'm playing as a faithful.
Who we know.
Rob R goes, I believe him.
And kidnapperish.
And Rob R goes, I believe him. And then Candace kind of like perks up a little bit. JMJ backs him up, of course. And then, then it seems like Ron is like speaking a little bit where he's like, he's like, look, I'm gonna throw it, like kind of throws it back in their face. He's like, I'll write my name down for you guys in order to know I'm a faithful. Like, he's basically like, just to prove it at this point. Like, it seems like Ron
no.
You can't write your own name down.
That's not what he said. If there's one time
I thought that's what he said.
No, that's not what he said. I'll tell you what he said. If there's one time I really can identify with Ron, it was in that moment. It was almost, I know exactly how he felt. He felt defeated, and he felt like, you know what? Because I was there. That's where you see the frustration at my rounds, at my banishment of, well, write my name down. I didn't sit down saying that. At some point at that round table, when people are just accusing you, you almost are like, hey, write the shit so I can get up here and tell you who I am. And that's really where Ron was. He was like, I almost would rather y'all just write my name down, because I can't wait to stand up there and tell you who I am. I can't wait to stand up there and tell you that I'm a faithful. That resonated with me because I was there. And they were so sure that I was, they were more sure that I was a traitor than they are sure that Ron is a traitor. Obviously, because I got damn near unanimous vote.
Yeah. This table was really crazy, to the point that I think Rob R at some point is like, seems like he's kind of flipping the script at this table. Did
I
anybody
think
else?
he's just conflicted. I don't think he's flipping the script. I think he is conflicted because he has built, as a trader, I would do the same thing. My life in this game is not just all about traders. I have to build other relationships and connections with people. I think he's also he seems to me like he's a boy's boy, like he's a guy's guy. I think he really feels like Colton's a bro, and then he has this empathetic nature towards Ron. I think he's really conflicted. He feels bad for Ron. He's like, I've been playing chess with this guy. I know, I think they actually do share as much as Ron doesn't want to share personal information with Dorinda. I think he does though, and have a rapport with Rob. I think that they have that relationship, and I think Rob is like, I'm going to feel bad outside of this game, but if I write Ron's name down, because he's going to at some point realize that I am a traitor when this is over, and I don't want him to think that what we were, the person I was towards him was fake. It was insincere. It was disingenuous. So I can't write his name down, and I think that Rob feels towards Colton. This really like my bro. He know we be broing it up with snakes and mud and cowboy boots and shit. I can't, if I write his name down, he gonna be like, what the hell? And I do believe that maybe he thought Lisa might have enough votes to go home.
Yeah, because Colton turned it on Lisa. Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too late.
No, okay, so also Colton and Ron, they probably wouldn't write Rob's name down. So strategically, it helps him alone to keep them in the game.
Table is a numbers game. Yes.
But also, as a trader, I can imagine it would be difficult because if I'm a faithful and I'm voting Tiffany out or Big D out or Sandra out, there's no way for me to actually know whether someone is a faithful or a traitor. And so I'm taking a chance, and yes, I might end the dreams of a faithful and cut their journey short, and I would feel bad. I would feel guilty, but there was no way for me to know. All of the faithfuls are taking a chance. Exactly. It's not completely intentionally, but as a trader, every time you write someone's name down, when they leave, you are actually sentencing them to their death in this castle because you know for a fact that they're innocent. And I think that would probably, much like the way that the Cookout played Big Brother 23, how that kind of messed with me. That is probably how I would feel. I think it would really get to me. So I
when you look at the way
Yes.
When you look at the way
Lisa.
Rob plays versus Candace and Lisa, I bet you more people are inclined to work with Rob and give him information versus the housewives. Not that they know that they're traitors, just simply them being housewives. You think of them as, oh, this is how they act in real life. They backstab, they do this, that, and the third. When those women are in that turd and they throw out a name, they stick to that name, where it seems that Rob has a heart. He has a big and kind heart, and it's pulling at his heartstrings to see and know that his friends are taking a hit versus the two housewives, because they're like, why'd you even do that? We're supposed to, they don't care, but he cares.
That part.
Yeah,
exactly. And that's why he's stealing the hearts
He
of
can
a lot
make it
of
fun.
viewers. And never did I ever he can, and never did I think he would be the Dylan Efron of this season or the pilot beat of this season. I thought that was going to be like Steven or Mark, but no, Rob is like the heartthrob of the season.
I thought this was clever, and I appreciated the timing of it and the fact that he was bold enough to ask it. But do you guys remember when he was playing chess with Ron and he says,
"Oh yeah,
have you heard my name at all?" And then he said, "No,
you'd be
never."
perfect.
And
You'd be the perfect trader. Nobody.
You'd be perfect. Yeah. Could you imagine? Like, no one, his name has not come off of anyone's tongue. It is not.
And the hard part about that is like Ron has no one to talk to about that. So it's like Rob is like, oh, you're talking to me about it. He has nobody else to say that too, that his thought process that he just had. So
well, there might be trouble in paradise. Let's get into the Lisa of it all, because it seems like the traitors are about to crumble.
Yeah, so of course at this round table, Colton finds a way to throw out Lisa's name. And Lisa is just like, he's like, hey, before we move on, off of Ron, he looks at Lisa, he goes, I try to have a conversation with you, and you don't, and a conversation with you, and I don't know much about housewives, but you don't go against housewives. And the first vote, it never set right with him.
Stop doing that
Natalie
clicking what you doing.
Natalie chimes in, and she goes, yeah, like that kind of makes sense to me too. Now, in this
I think there
moment,
was
what do you
more
guys
said
think
that they
about
didn't
this?
show
Like
us
Lisa's
because now all of a sudden she's got several votes.
For
I think she had 4
sure.
or 5 votes. What did she have? That's a lot for someone who they weren't even talking about.
Almost, yeah.
There was more said at that round
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost like the 8 people that was supposed to vote for Colton
All
voted
That's
for
voted
that
for
Lisa.
finesse. Like
Lisa.
you gotta have
Yeah.
that stuff
That part,
buttoned
that
down
part.
before you go in there.
And that's why Candace was like, we're doing it again. We're shifting
Mhm.
again.
That just goes to show you Colton, he's dangerous in this castle.
Oh, yeah.
He got up that day and came in the house and sprinkled little seeds about Lisa. Johnny is very confident about the faithful crew that he has, and they held this meeting and they've got Colton's name. And then half of the people in your alliance, a lot of them did not vote the way you expected them to. And you got Colton. Whenever Colton wants something, he's almost getting it. I don't give a damn if he a faithful or a traitor. He like Michael to me. You got to go. You doing too much in here. You getting your way in here, and then you wrong. And even if you are right about Lisa, it doesn't matter to me at this point because you've been wrong, like Ron said, more times than you've been right. How do I know that this time you're right? You like the boy to cry wolf. I don't care no more.
Horrible
Yeah,
faithful.
he's a bad faithful.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I mean, the rest of it is very self-impl it just explains itself. Ron, is trying, he said that, I'm gonna say something nice about each of you guys. He kind of went around, said something nice about the people.
No, I think that was before we even got
Oh, was it? Okay.
Lisa
Well,
versus Colton.
Yeah. Oh, Ron, it's a very close vote. Like we're talking
Yeah, it
very
was
close.
5-5-4. Ron and Lisa each had 5. Colton had 4, and Mark Ballas is the last vote. And Alan goes, if you vote for Colton, it's going to be a 3-way tie. We have to go into a tiebreaker. But if Ron or Lisa gets a vote, then that will be the person banished. And sure enough, Mark Ballas, instead of sticking with the Johnny 8-pack, the figure 8 alliance, get what I did there?
Oh, is that what they were?
They
didn't name themselves that, but like,
That was
you did?
Figure 8. I saw it on Twitter.
Okay.
I plagiarized, but instead of sticking with that alliance, instead he decides to vote for Ron. I think Mark at the end of the day just wanted that clarity. This is what, like the 5th roundtable or something like that.
I'm telling you.
I think it's time just to see. It's time for Judgment Day for Ron, and so Ron ended up leaving.
I was sad
and
too. I
was
didn't
sad
like
about it.
I mean, I would have done the same thing. I would have voted for Ron anyway because I agree with herd mentality. But like I said, as a viewer from my sofa, because I'm not in that castle, so they hear more of what's going on at the round table, not in every room like we get to see. But I would have voted for him too because then if not. And once Ron says he's a faithful, then on to Colton.
Right.
And once he says he's a faithful, we're like, oh shit, we keep fucking up.
That part. And keep in mind at this roundtable, Rob R did vote for Lisa, so it brings us to where we are now. So we after this happens, you could tell like it's like a shock. Like they're like, damn, like this Ron is a damn faithful, and Rob R is like shitting bricks because he's like, I don't want to talk to Lisa. I wrote Lisa's name down. And
that's what he said. He thought she was going to go home. That's easy to fix. All you got to be is like, look, before coming in this round table, I had heard 8 people were going to write your name down. And they were telling me I was going to write your name down.
But then why didn't you tell me? But then why didn't you tell me?
I didn't run across you in the castle.
Sandra. Sandra,
I was
you
looking
know
for
my.
you.
Oh, but
Or
in this
I
moment, he doesn't
heard
want to
it,
run into
and then
Lisa,
how do I
and
look? Leaving a conversation, somebody sees me like, damn, we just told that fool we were gonna vote for Lisa. He goes snitching.
Mm. You over there talking to Lisa. Yeah.
yeah. So in this moment, him, Candace,
In the
and
kitchen.
Lisa have a
She
conversation
threw stuff
in
at
this
him.
kitchen. Okay, and this, I love that Candace threw something at him because she is just like that angry.
A
Where she's like,
line. Wasn't it a line?
it was like a mom moment when you tell your kid
Yeah,
to
but
stop.
she didn't mean that shit.
Put that
Like,
shit like
it
was.
ain't her name, so she really don't care.
No,
Let's
I
be
know.
real.
Right. And Lisa's like, I do not trust you right now. But we find out before they went to this round table that they're given a task that one of them have to wear this, because Alan lets them know they're gonna have a dinner. They're gonna have a lavish, nice dinner, which everybody's like, don't even eat anything.
The brooch.
And the traders know right. He lets the traders know in the turret that one of you guys need to wear this diamond pendulum.
Pendant.
But a diamond pen.
Or
an amulet?
Pendant. Thank you, Sandra. A diamond pendant. Got to wear
An
that.
amulet?
Is that right?
Yeah, the amulet.
Okay, the amulet.
But we know what you're talking about. Yeah, the
a...
big gold thing with the silver thing with the
Thank you,
rubies.
Sandra. Thank you, because they be over here. Sandra, they be over here trying to clown me all the time.
Hold on.
Like they haven't done
I
with me
wrote
in 5
something about
years.
it. Let me see.
Tell me what you wrote, Sandra.
It's an amulet.
Because I said Lisa had to wear it. She's the only one that would wear something so gaudy like that. He's not going to wear it. And then
Like
Candace
that,
doesn't
yeah.
look to me like she would wear it. So she has to wear it. That's it, point blank.
Yeah, and the goal is they got to kill somebody in plain sight again. But
Well,
at
whoever
dinner,
touches
in front
it,
of
yeah.
everybody. So you got to get somebody to touch
Yep.
this. All right, so here's my thoughts. This is why I think he's going to touch it, unfortunately.
Sure.
I think it's going to be Dorinda. All right, Dorinda. I love that. Like, no, she's not gonna. The people that Lisa wants to kill, she's not gonna be able to kill. It's gonna be somebody who is close with Lisa, who's willing to touch her.
All
and
I would do is put it on
her.
crooked and watch somebody come fix it.
That part,
I'd have that thing all twisted, and they'd be like,
actually,
let
Sandra,
me
that's
fix
a great.
Okay.
You're so devious, Sandra.
That's great, Sandra. So who do you guys think is going to touch it?
Somebody
so we
like
can wrap this up.
Oh,
I
to
like
me,
your
I feel like
theory about
someone like
Dorinda.
Jam or Johnny that might want to correct her wardrobe.
Could be it.
Somebody that is just in love with shiny objects.
See, something like that when someone is all crooked, there's no
so
telling
Johnny.
who. You just maybe have to, if you don't want a specific person to touch it, then you have to not be obvious.
Girl, I'm glad they banished me. It would have been my silly ass. Lisa, because I love Lisa. She can't do no wrong. Every time I see, hey girl, oh, that is so cute. Dead.
And that's crazy because this game is now taking it to the next notch where people are like, I'm not going to eat. People are not going to eat at each other, drink at each other, and now people are not going to touch each other.
Well, you can eat as long as someone doesn't pass you the food. Like I would grab food myself.
Yeah, but I meant in normal games, I would. Hannah, you want something to drink? Here, let me get you something to drink.
Don't give me shit.
In this game,
no, don't give me nothing to drink. Don't be no gentleman over here. Don't be no gentleman over here. Don't be no friendly.
I have a question, guys. Has there been a regular murder at all this season? I feel like there was the short list for the first couple murders. Then there was a murder in plain sight. Then no one got murdered, right? So we haven't had a normal murder yet where the traitors have.
No, Monet was.
Oh, but you guys
Monet
had the
wasn't
shields.
shortlisted. Well, that means
You're
having
right.
shields are normal thing.
Okay.
So
okay, so
Monet was probably like the first normal murder.
The first and only. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So I guess where does this leave the traitors. First of all, you have Candace, who's been writing Ron's name down. That's kind of been her crutch. That's been her strategy. She's been consistent. She hasn't switched up. Now she's going to have to start throwing out names again, because up until now, she's been able to rely on, oh, well,
Easy,
I think it's Ron.
Colton.
Let's just see if we can get him banished tonight. So that's where we leave Candace.
Right.
Colton for now, but I do think that Colton is going sooner rather than later. So I do think that Candace is in a slightly less comfortable position than she was before. And then with Lisa Rinna, obviously her name's been out there. She received 5 votes at the last roundtable out of 16 people. So she's going to have some trouble. And there's that murder in plain sight. What if people are watching her closely and people notice, like, oh, so-and-so touched the amulet, now they're dead. So she's going to have some stuff to answer for. And then we have Rob, obviously his fellow traitors do not trust him anymore. I do think that him writing down Lisa will help him, because I think it's only a matter of time before Lisa gets banished. And the fact that he stuck up for Ron, who's a faithful, when Colton inevitably gets banished or murdered, they'll figure out he's a faithful. Rob also stuck up for him. And he wrote down Lisa's name. So I think that's automatically going to clear him. And he just did himself a favor, even though he has not bought trust with the traitors. So that's kind of where we're at.
Candace knows Lisa's name is out there, so she's going to have to decide when is she going to have to cut her ties too. That's it. Lisa did it, when you mess up and you sitting there thinking you look cute with those glasses, but it makes you look more like a traitor than anything else. That's on you. So if you don't fix this, guess what? I'm going to have to vote against you too. If your name keeps popping up. If I hear your name through the castle tomorrow 2-3 times, sis, I'm sorry. We both can't go down.
Now, I find it interesting, just like when Caroline was dead, was dead that morning. Nobody, the housewives didn't go, oh, y'all coming for the housewives. Like, Dorinda is playing this so cool. I would expect more of a little protection of the housewives with for each other when somebody's coming for them. It seemed like, even Candace stood up for me, and I'm not even a housewife. When Lisa's name was out there, like, I'm not saying Dorinda didn't say anything, but I guess Dorinda's like, long as it ain't me, because I'm trying to make it to breakfast.
Yeah. It's because, who said it? Dorinda probably knows that Lisa's a traitor, but doesn't want to say anything. I think it was Sandra who said that.
She did hear about it earlier, and I ain't see no little edit of her running to Lisa to tell her neither.
I'm cracking up. We're going to find out. Oh, Sandra, thank you so
for
much
getting dressed up, putting this thing on top of my pajamas.
On this recap.
It was a pleasure,
Sandra. We love you so much.
It's so mean.
Miss Tiffany. That shit was funny as hell. I was like, who spells Tiffany with only one F? But yes.
Like the
Thank
company.
you guys for inviting me.
That part.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for making time for us. And, I love you. I love that I got to have this time with you. You are my godmother. I love it. Thank you.
Yes. And
Sandra,
hopefully we'll all play together on Traitors,
but don't write a book
with nothing but gamers.
A girl can, kind of Big Brother, no?
But no sluts.
Now we need to just run an Airbnb for the weekend and then have somebody record it and name it whatever we want and stream it online and edit it.
Sandra, quick question. Would you ever do
Never
Big
Amazing
Brother
Race
or Amazing
because
Race,
I don't run nowhere. The problem with Big Brother for me is the 100 days. My husband could be without me a week, 2, 3, maybe 4 if it's $1 million, but not 100 or 99, whatever. And I can't be around nobody messy.
I know that's right. God,
I can't be around messy people either. That. It grinds my gears.
I find me a man that can't be without me. Grind.
You would have loved our season.
Good.
Besides
we were clean.
Yeah.
You said besides Travis.
Don't throw
besides
DX out there.
All right, guys. It's 8:02. Take care.
You saw that HOH went right hand of nose.
It was a
Do I have to stay away to
record? Bye, Sandra. Make sure you watch Extracted with Sandra.
To the
Oh,
like,
wait a
subscribe,
second.
and comment,
Wait,
guys. Thank you so much for watching
speaker.
another episode.